Yeah, my name is Katie, and I would call myself like a poly hobbyist. I've done lots of hobbies, and I am now currently starting up a small business called Nocturnal Creature, and I'm also a author under the pen name Ray Ryan. Yeah, so I write science fiction and I write romance, and I just got this idea that it would be really great to put together a gift box for people, because it can be so hard to buy for readers, because readers are so specific about what they like. And I've had many people give me a book and be like, I think you're gonna like this. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. I don't want this. So being able to pick up a gift box for someone, because you know they like Fourth Wing, like they're gonna like a fantasy book box. And it was all mostly stuff that I wanted to make myself. And that's how I ended up here, is because I wanted to make like bookmarks and book openers and candles and tote bags and things like that. So I ended up just like putting together things I thought I could make myself, and would also be like have a handmade feel to it and feel very personal, and you know no one else is going to be getting this. So TinkerMill, I had heard about it, and when I got the idea to make laser printed bookmarks, I was like, where do I find a laser printer? And that's how I kind of came across TinkerMill. Like, I'd known it was here for a while, but I've never really checked it out. And what I wanted to do was create a bookmark that's like a relief. And I knew that I needed to have more power than what I could possibly have. Also, we live in a small house, and there's just no space for anything. And trying to do stuff like this without any space is impossible. So when I found TinkerMill, it gave me even more ideas of what I could do. I could use a 3D printer, the screen printing. So it went from like a laser printed bookmark to a whole bunch of other things that I could do. And I really got into it actually because of pottery. My parents and I took a pottery class together, and we had a really good time. And then we're like, well, how do we keep going with this? And that's when I remembered TinkerMill and was like, I know that they have pottery stuff. So it kind of just encompasses, like, having so many hobbies, it was just kind of perfect. So the laser printing, as far as like an actual tool, I have used by far the most. It's very straightforward though. I mean, I've done lots of iterations. I tend to, because I want it to be perfect, I do a lot of testing, a lot of just trying things until I get it just right, with the idea that once I have it just right, I can make a bunch of them and not have to revisit the design. So the laser printer was pretty straightforward. I've gotten a lot of support in screen printing as well. Working with Slater has been great, because I don't know anything about screen printing. I was like, this is all new territory for me, and it's a whole process. This is pretty straightforward. But it has been what I've used the most, is the laser printer. The most memorable thing is when I signed up to do the screen printing with Slater, another woman signed up, Dana, and we just had a great time. We had so much fun together, and we end up here by accident a lot of times. And I always ask people, because there's a lot of readers around here, I'm like, what do you think about this? And then they'll give me their feedback, and they give like really honest feedback while also being really supportive. So I like showed someone, I showed Ruth my print for the romance one, and she's like, I feel like it needs to have some like direction. And so I went back, I added some stuff to it, and same with all my other designs. I just ask people, and everyone gives great feedback. And then one other time I was printing these, and the plywood gets like wobbly when you start cutting it out, and then it really affects the way that the laser cuts it. And I was like, I had to like print them one time each. And then someone came in and was like, well, have you thought about just using, there's like these little pins you can put in. If you cut holes in each one, you can put pins in them so they won't flip. And I was like, that's amazing. That's gonna save me so much time. So just like stopping and having a conversation with Torben like saved me a bunch of time. So it's really like, half is all this stuff, and the other half is everyone's information that they're like more than willing to share with you, and not in like a dickish way. For me, reading is a way to escape reality. It's a way to like go to a safe space, and when you open up a gift that is entirely unexpected and you feel seen by the person who's given it to you, it's just like a really lovely feeling of being seen by someone you care about, and that they really thought about you in this way. And then to have something that you are actually going to use. You're going to use it all the time, and it's going to be unique and special, and maybe not something that even knew was out there. So I just want people to feel very like seen, and to feel like they've gotten something that's personal and made from someone who also enjoys the exact same thing they enjoy. And it's not just like off of like Amazon or something like that. If I'm at my house doing stuff, there's laundry to be done. I could take my dog for a walk. I can like eat snacks all day. And so by being here, it helps me focus on the job that I'm doing in order to expand my business and in order to try to get these out before the holidays so that I have a place I can go to. I can make a mess and then clean it up, but it doesn't feel like anxiety inducing. When I'm in my own house and I start just like trying to do something, I get very anxious and I'm like, okay, I need more space. I feel very like trapped in. So it has helped me to focus in on my business and to have a space that I go to and I'm like, I'm doing this here. So my space at home is a place where I can feel more relaxed and not also is a part of my business and therefore is stressful all of the time. Yeah, I have so many ideas. The focusing in on books is one way that I took my hobbies and the things I want to do, and I'm like, if you just focus it on books, then it's not going to get too sprawling, which was a bit of a misnomer because of course I can still do that, but what I really want to do is I did the resin printing class and I want to print, I essentially want to make a bookshelf like a little natural wonder space where you can like slide in these little mushrooms between the books. And so it looks like mushrooms are growing out of the books and have like little critters that you can slide in the top so it looks like they're running around. And then the pottery studio, I'm going to make bookends that look like trees that you can put little air plants in. So that's the next thing I want to do is like turn it into a little wonderland of your bookshelf. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas. Yeah, so I am at raeryanwrites.com is R-A-E, and that's my website. I am also on the socials at Ray Ryan Writes. For Instagram, for TikTok, it's Ray the Reader, I believe. And you can find, I have a bunch of clothing stuff that I've designed, and that's under my business Nocturnal Creature. There's also an Instagram for that, but I haven't done as much as I should. One is so much already. But you can find my science fiction. It is called The Scavengers and the Stray. I always say it's like Becky Chambers meets Firefly, so it's like a very queer space opera. And then my romance book will be coming out soon. Also a very queer romance novel. It's contemporary small town. I'm finishing the second book and I want to release them together, but if you follow me, then you will see all of that. And I'm excited because I want to make a box just for my books too. Whenever I get around to thinking about that, but I was like, yes, this is perfect. So I'll have a specific like box for that. And what I would really love to do is to be able to pair with other indie authors and offer specialized book boxes for them, because indie authors are often just don't have access to the same opportunities as traditional authors, like podcasts and getting your name out there. We just like don't have that. And so one of my goals is to try to pair with some indie authors who are doing like Kickstarters and offer book boxes for their specific books to help get the word out there about their stuff and provide more resources for indie authors. No, I love TinkerMill. If you have lots of hobbies and you don't know where to put them all, this is the place to be.